Hi everyone, it's Cherie from Big Notes Get Votes. I hope you are well, and this is my public service announcement that I'd like to do and send out to any entertainment professional who's a contractor. That can mean dancers, singers, musicians. I've just come off the back of being the show producer for a big event, which means that at the end of the big event, you're usually processing lots of invoices. One thing that was really highlighted to me was that I'm not sure if a lot of people have had the opportunity to be walked through how to prepare a tax invoice, and in New Zealand you certainly have to align that up with your responsibilities to the Inland Revenue. And how it works in a nutshell is that if you are a contractor or if you do contract work, the employer is legally obliged to take tax on your behalf unless you have a tax exemption certificate, which you will usually apply to the IRD to receive, or if you're a registered company. So if you're a registered company, you'll have a company certificate, and you are responsible, therefore, for your own tax. If you're not under those categories and you're a sole trader, I wanted to take you through a couple of things that might be helpful to you. So firstly, how to fill out an invoice. Now, you don't know until you know, but there are lots of resources out there, and I want to back this up with some good information from the IRD because their new website is outstanding. If I jump over here, you'll see this business.govt.nz. Lots and lots of information on keeping records, invoices, receipts, wage books, petty cash if you're going down that route. But more importantly, it will redirect you to a site, to the ird.govt.nz site, which actually takes you through tax invoices, and it gives you a little demo, which I've got there. And I'm going to show you a personalized one because this one applies to you if you're a GST registered, which is a whole another kettle of fish because there are some parameters surrounding GST that you can look into and get information on the IRD website. So we'll steer clear of GST for now. We're just going to do sole trading contractor. And by the way, I am not an accountant or even a tax agent. My tax agent would be laughing to know that I'm giving this information out to you because I learnt the hard way as well, which is why I want to share this because I think it's really important that you keep on top of your taxes. I totally have learnt the hard way and didn't file tax for like 7 years, and you pay a ton of interest and it ain't cool. So I'm trying to help you learn from my mistakes. Okay, so remember, I will post the links to all of these things I'm showing you, plus I'm going to give you this exact template. So let me walk you through it. The first thing that you've got here is, you can personalize it with a logo or a company name or whatever. And then the second thing is there's some basic things, as you'll see on the IRD site, that you have to cover. So the first one is you do need to have the word invoice there. You definitely need to have your contact details. So these, my phone number, I've put my email and my website there. Good opportunity for branding, so you may as well use it. You need to put your address there. And definitely your name, and I always pop musical services there as well too. Okay, so then the next thing you've got is I always put a teaching accounts, and then you definitely need to have the company name and the address of the company. I mean, you can probably get away with just having the company name, but the address helps. And then some other important things you need to have there is definitely have your GST or your IRD number. Now, don't worry about the GST if you're a sole trader or you're not GST registered, but certainly your IRD number. And as you will find out if you ever go from being a sole trader to GST registered, it's the same number. But that is a whole nother kettle of fish, GST. So we're just talking about PAYE or pay as you earn tax. And as I mentioned, the employer is legally obliged to take the tax on behalf of the contractor and pay it to the IRD unless you have those documents that I mentioned before, tax exemption certificate, or you're an actual registered company. So anyway, this is a really simple system that I use, and you can use anything. All it matters is that you get it. So this for me is 01 is the first gig of the 8th month of the year. So that was obviously 2014 when I created this template. And then you get down to the description, write what the gig is. So let's say, New Year's Eve party, Britomart, 31st of December 2015. Then you'd write your price in. So let's say it's $100. If you're using the withholding tax code, which is absolutely 100%, let's say 99.9% the best tax code to use for contractors, then you will be taxed 20 cents in the dollar, which means you have to take $20 away from 100, and then $80 is what you'll end up being paid. Important to pop your bank account details down there as well so they know where to pay you, and then a nice little message. Okay, so let's talk real quick about withholding tax. So I'm going to jump across to this form here, which is the IR330 tax code declaration. Now, usually I send it out to people in a PDF format, and I don't know if you have a Mac or if you are on PC, but this is Mac. There's a little thing in preview when you pull up the PDF. You go to Tools, and then you go to Annotate, and you can actually create yourself a signature. You can see a couple I've got there, and you can also add text. So you can fill this in on your computer. You don't even need to print it, and you can save it and then send it back. One quick note about saving files. Really important to save things correctly. Put your name, put what the document is, and the date. So that when someone like me who's receiving 100 IR330s, they don't have that same file name like everybody else. Same with your tax document. I would label it something like, this is Big Notes Get Votes, and then I would put 010-814, and then maybe the date of the performance or some kind of reference, or my name. File naming is super important for when you're digitally filing things as well later on. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm just leading, trying to help you guys out and make things easier for you in the future. Okay, so with this tax code declaration, it is pretty straightforward. You put your name, you put your IRD number, and then you put your tax code. So for contractors, it would be WT. You just confirm that you have got permission to work in New Zealand. You pop your signature on. Okay, so if you need any more information, at the bottom of the document, it's sort of like a flow chart that helps you figure out what it is that you're doing. Now, you'll see here, salary and wages. If you're a contractor, 99.9% of the time, you will not be using any of these tax codes because you contract, so you are not being paid a salary or a wage. Same with here. Secondary income, you will not be messing around with any of this stuff because you are not being paid a salary or wage 99.9% of the time. This is where you come in. The other tax code options, scheduler payments belong to the WT tax code. There might be some other things that apply to you if you are contracting in another way, but we're going to focus on WT. So it's got tons and tons of information. If you're not a details-orientated person, and creatives very rarely are, unless it's the detail of their project, like art or music, then it might be a bit much to take in. So basically, you do need to assign what rate of deduction you are, and it's based on the activity. So you just scroll down, and here we go. Entertainers, lecturers, presenters, participants in sporting events, radio, television, stage, and film performers. So that's us. That's pretty much all of us. And you can see that tax rate is 20 cents in the dollar. You can see back up here, form itself. You'll then write WT and you'll write entertainment services. And then you are good to go. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you have any questions, you can just holler at me. And happy tax invoicing.